One of the excuses of not starting a digital marketing agency right now is that you have startup costs. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. There's absolutely no excuse why you shouldn't today start your own digital marketing agency on the side if you already have a 9-to-5. And if you don't have a job, there's absolutely no excuse why you shouldn't be making $10K a month profit running a digital marketing agency. My name is Will and I run a digital marketing agency full-time. Last month I quit my 9-to-5 and it has been the best decision I've ever made. It provides me with complete freedom of a schedule that I create for myself, and I determine how much I make based on how hard I work. In 2022, there's no excuse not to go into it. I mean, there's so many good business models out there, but a digital marketing agency is truly one of the most profitable and easiest to start. So, the purpose of this video, is there any startup costs with starting an agency? The short answer, no. Like none. But yes, there are some things that you may want to buy to get a good jump start ahead of the competition, but if you're in a pinch and you just want to start it tomorrow with absolutely no startup costs, you absolutely can do that. The reason why I say you don't really need any startup costs is because really you can create your own Gmail, you could start going from your personal email, which I don't really recommend, but you could do to start out, and you could just outreach from there instead of buying a domain. Now, when I talk about startup costs and I say you probably should put some money into it at first, I'm normally talking about hunter.io and a domain. If you've watched my previous videos, I talk about some good outreach methods that you can use with hunter.io that really guarantee that you get a client within that first week or 2 weeks. Look, all you need is a phone, a laptop, and some time. If you don't have any startup costs, you just go from your personal Instagram and you just start DMing brands and shops on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, and you can really just get going that way. It's as simple as that. People think you need to get registered as a business or have an LLC or, buy all these softwares before you get going. No, you need to land your first client and then buy all that stuff. And you really don't need to register as an LLC until, in my opinion, you're making about $5K a month. I just registered for an LLC for my agency last month, and I'm glad we did so because we kind of crossed that threshold, and we're going to cross that threshold twofold next month. But we want to kind of have that safety net. But starting out, you do not need one at all. Trust me, you're going to regret it if you do so. That's a huge upfront cost that's just unnecessary. So don't worry about registering your business. Just focus on truly outreaching. Now, if you want to hit the ground running and you really want to make an impact in the first month of starting your agency and you're going to go full time, I'm going to talk about some things that you may need to kind of get going. One, like I mentioned earlier, is a domain. So when you're starting your agency, you want a domain with your name. So mine is upperhandmarketing.net. You're going to want to choose a name and not necessarily put up a website, but really just buy the domain. My website is still not up yet, and I've scaled my agency to a pretty decent standing right now without a website and all. So I think it's definitely possible for someone to scale to that 10, 20, 30 mark without a website, and you don't need one. All you need is a domain so that you come across professional. If I were to send somebody an email that says upperhandmarketing@gmail.com, it might be more spammy and might be flagged as spam. Whereas if I email somebody and it's will@upperhandmarketing.net, people are going to know that I bought the domain, I put in the effort to kind of create my own domain, create my own business, and they're more likely going to respond and communicate with you because you have that professionalism about you. Now again, you don't need one, but it definitely may take more time to land that first client without a domain. What's the cost of a domain? So the cost of a domain is $12 a year. You can buy more expensive ones, but it's really not necessary. So $12 a year and you're set. So as long as you can save up, if you're really in a pinch for money, all you need to do is set aside $12 and save. Maybe just don't go out one time this month and you have enough money to kind of hit the ground running next month. I think it's a smart decision that definitely can be made. So the next cost is hunter.io. This is what I bought before I landed any clients. It was $50 a month, and I talked about it in one of my other videos, but it basically scans websites for emails that you can then take and personally email somebody. So if you're going on Shopify stores, you're looking up Shopify stores or just e-commerce or whatever kind of business you're looking at, you can go to their website, scan the website for their personal emails, find out who the owner is, put it into hunter.io, and then you have a set pathway to the owner of the business, which is a really good way to get just in front of the traffic. And then from there, it's on your own. So you create your own email templates and you can kind of just see what works and what doesn't work and double down on what works. So startup costs for an agency should not be an excuse to not get going. You can get going tomorrow if you really put your mind into it. All it takes is some action. The hardest step of doing anything is forcing yourself to do it. And once you start, you're going to get addicted. So to summarize it, all you need is $62 in my opinion to really hit the ground running hard. And again, you don't need that at all. If you just want to go for free, you absolutely can do that. And then once you land your first client, kind of put that money into the startup costs. But the startup costs are so minimal, and you can land a $1,000 a month client off of a $62 initial investment just going into your agency, which I think is pretty cool and honestly pretty unheard of in today's market and kind of today's business model marketplace. So take advantage of it while it's unsaturated. There's a lot of people starting agencies every single day, and it's going to be pretty saturated before you know it. So there's no excuse not to get going now. Get going now before you can. That's it for today. I just want to put a short video out there because I've heard a lot of people recently just saying, I don't want to do it because it costs money. It costs this, that, and this. I don't know who's told these people that, but that's not the way I did it. That's not the way you should do it. So just wanted to put a video out there saying that you absolutely do not need to spend a ton of money to get your agency going. If you do watch to this point, thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.